Yo, what's up guys? Today I want to show you my regional deck profile of my Purrely deck, which I took to the regional this last Saturday in Mönchengladbach. Overall we were 196 players, we played 8 rounds and I ended up going 7-1 and landed on the second place overall. One thing to note, I will only show my main deck and my extra deck and talk about it because we still have our German national in front of us. So I cannot share it, unfortunately, because my team and I still need some kind of edge to win the national. I think it's a good compromise that I will show my main deck and talk about it, and also my extra deck, of course, while keeping my side deck still secret. For the main deck, of course, we need our cats, Purrely and Purrely. There was a debate, or still a debate, that you can run 2 Lily maybe. While I also tried it, I ended up not liking it at all because while you don't need 3 Lily to play at all, you need it in the grind game. So of course you have the trap, but the thing is, your opponent is hand trapping you too, and it will get sometimes to the grind where you will always end on needing the third one. Because, of course, the trap can shuffle them back, but you don't always have the luxury to get to the trap and also having in the graveyard and so on. So I will always play 3 now. Also, you want to hard draw a normal summon. Of course, drawing 2 is bad, but the chance is still low, and opening 1 is always better than opening quick spells because quick spells requires you to go -1. Then of course all the spells at 3, nothing to talk about that. I will probably also make a guide, so give you guys some basic knowledge about the deck. So, but I won't explain it here right now. It's just standard. There's nothing to explain about the spells. And then the one thing I didn't play was the field spell and only one trap. I already seen multiple builds with 2 traps or 3 traps. I also played 3 traps. I started learning the deck with 3 traps. But the thing about the 3 traps is it is really good. You purely will hit it quite often, so you don't have to search it. It is really good in that sense, and also it is really decent as a discard too, because it has a graveyard effect, so it's not really dead. And overall, yeah, it was really solid. So if you want to have a better go first, definitely try out 3 traps. Also, I don't play the field spell because I think the field spell is just a brick. I don't want to draw it, of course. Um, Getting it from Purely is fine. Searching it sometimes in the end of your combo is also really fine because we can attach something in the end phase, so that's really good. Attaching Sleepy is always really good. But overall, I just didn't want to play because I needed the space in my main deck. If you see every single card, you will see that it is quite packed with 3 offs and some 1 offs that were necessary. I just didn't have the space for the field spell. So yeah, I just decided against it. That was everything for my engine. Unfortunately, if you run the engine that low, you purely will miss quite often. Overall, I think it was not that relevant. I still won the game where I missed many times, but of course it would be so much better to hit, of course. Even hitting quote-unquote bad cards like Trap and Field Spell. If I just needed the discard sometimes, and yeah. Overall, yeah, it was still decent. I might pump up the trap again just to increase my consistency of Purely. So yeah. Then for my hand traps, and I think hand traps are really needed. You cannot play board breakers because people are starting to play super heavy samurai builds that won't end on the board, but they will end on something like a hand loop. And not the FTK like hand loop, not the synchro hand loop with the Gothams. It is with Omega and Disparter. I think hand traps are really important because people are starting to play more FTK like builds. Also, there's a gimmick puppet build, which can end on Gimmick Puppet with one card, and they keep looping it every single turn, so you have to stop there too. So hand traps are really important. I might put my hand trap count up, since 12 is decent, but I really want to have 15 or 18, I guess. Ash, of course, really important for branded and some niche stuff like small world in the Math Mech, for example. You want to ash it so they don't search a kaiju or just ash the silent mining. Lockbird, of course, one of the best handship right now. But unfortunately, Lockbird kinda backfires in this deck because if you Lockbird and if you only have Lockbird alone, they will always make Baguska, and outing Baguska is possible, of course, when you have outs in your extra deck. But the problem there is you will always waste 3 to 4 hand cards just to out Baguska, and it's not really good. You can play something like Fujo. There's a debate where people say Fujo works under Baguska, some say it doesn't work. For this event, yeah, you couldn't use Fujo under Baguska, so I didn't play him. So yeah, I had to rely on hard drawing my outs, so that's also why I play Impermanence. I really like Impermanence. It helps you to negate stuff in the draw phase. It helps you to out stuff like Baguska, so it's really good, although, of course, drawing from Sleepy doesn't work with Impermanence, but I didn't care. I want the Impermanence just to out stuff. And also Nibiru. Nibiru was bad at first because people told me it is bad against Super Heavy Samurai, but it is actually really good. Drawing Nibiru with all the other hand traps is really good if you know how to use it. For example, Nibiru Lockbird is kinda unknown, I think, how to use it. But yeah, if you know it, it's really good. For my last 6 card, I decided to run no discard engine. Most people are playing discard engines to improve their go first and also sometimes go second, of course. But I wanted a card that is actually doing something going first and go second, because when I used discard engines, I just saw that the draw one, it was good, but overall it won't help you that much if your Lily still gets negated, if your continuous spell gets hit by Ash or Ghost Ogre, something like that, and the discard engine won't help you there. So I just decided to play the TTTs, 3 Thrusts, 1 Talents, 1 Herald, and 1 Daruma. At first it was only 3 Talents and other cards, because Talents overall is, in my opinion, better than discard engines, and this card can either give you the +1, which you need, like just drawing 2 fresh cards is really strong, or you can look at your opponent's hand. If you know that you can still push through, you just look at the hand and rip either engine out or the next disruption. And my deck is quite weak for the mirror match, so I decided to play Thrust 2 with the Herald as a target. Of course, you can dodge it by summoning another Purrely on the field, but I was thinking maybe I can stop them so much with my other hand traps so they won't have a quick spell set, so it will always be alive somehow. And then I played a target for going first when I had to set something with Thrust, and which was the Daruma Cannon. I liked Daruma the most because hitting Kash with that is really good. Hitting Mirror with that when they are in the battlefield is also really good. Hitting the Super Heavy Samurai when they have Wakaushi and maybe Soul Piercer on field is also really strong. So yeah, it's quite difficult to play around it. Also, if you have additional hand traps like Nibiru, it is quite difficult to push through Nibiru and Daruma. So overall, it was really good. So now for my extra deck, the standard two Plump, 2 Beauties, 1 Happy, really good for OTK lines. Then of course 2 Nor. Then for my rank 1s, I have Sylvan Princess. Then for my Lyrius, Robin, and Nightingale. Nightingale, of course, for Zeus, attacking directly. And then, of course, Downard and Zeus, really important. I also think I will use double Zeus without Kash, because it does come up in the grind. And then for my Link monsters, you don't have to play any, but I played Anima. Anima is here just to, of course, take the Nibiru token, which can be quite big and difficult to out. and also our link monsters, especially against Mathmech. I needed him to win because I kept equipping the big link monsters, which was Dark Fluid and Access Code, so it was really good. And yeah, it's quite free to make. And for my link 2, I played Moon. It was not in here because of Baguska. I don't think you have to ever out Baguska with your link monsters, because if you do that, you waste 3 to 4 hand cards and your opponent just need one hand trap, doesn't matter which one, to stop you. So I don't really like outing Baguska immediately. And this card was in here just so I can out skill drain. Overall, guys, this deck was really fun for me. I really enjoyed it and it is so cute. And yeah, the deck is quite difficult to play. I don't say that this deck is the best deck or something, but it's really fun. So, and I do enjoy the playstyle of the deck. Also, if you guys want to see a Purrely guide, let me know in the comments. And until then, see you next time, guys.